Invest 96L is currently off the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Let's take a quick look right here at what the National Hurricane Center has to say about it. This is as of 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Shower and thunderstorm activity associated with a broad area of low pressure located a couple hundred miles south-southeast of the Outer Banks in North Carolina have changed little in organization this evening, and the system still lacks a well-defined center. However, environmental conditions are becoming more conducive for development, and a tropical depression is likely to form during the next day or so, while the system moves northward to northeastward off the southeast and mid-Atlantic U.S. coasts. Regardless of development, this system could bring high surf to portions of the southeast and mid-Atlantic U.S. coasts through this weekend. Additional information can be found, including gale warnings. They can be found at the high seas forecast issued by the NOAA Ocean Prediction Center. Chances through the next 48 hours and 5 days are the same. It's still 70%. But if you're in the Carolinas, if you're in southeastern Virginia, watch out for those high surf and watch out for those rip currents, because that can happen. So we're going to start with the intensity models. Then we're going to go to the center to locate the track models. So basically, it's 35 mile per hour invest. The models all agree that it's going to be a tropical storm at some point. However, one of the models have it going up to minimal hurricane strength, Category 1 strength, but that's all dependent on when this thing develops at this point, and I'll show you why in a moment. But later on out, some have it moving to tropical depression strength and everything. Right now, it's too early to know what it's going to do, so I'm taking all these with a grain of salt, but I'll explain why this minimal hurricane model is dependent on where it'll go. This is where it is right now, and it's expected to start turning in the next 12 to 24 hours into more of a northeast northeast motion, and basically it's going to keep that for the next for 2 days, and then the models are all jumbled up right here. A lot of them have it just all over the place at this point. So anything with it after the 72-hour mark, just take it with a grain of salt, because all the models are just split at this point. Some of them have it going down, then bouncing up. Some of it going into circles and everything. So take anything after 72 hours with a grain of salt. That's the key message. Just take anything after 3 days with a grain of salt, because we don't know too much. But anyway, the reason this is tangent on this becoming a hurricane or not, if it happens to develop into a tropical storm, depends on where it's going to be at. If its location, like essentially like the further north up you get, the cooler the surface water temperature is, the higher the wind shear is. So it's all tangent on when this develops at this point. So if it develops 6 hours from now, it's very possible it could become a hurricane. But if it develops in a day, those chances go down very quickly after that. So we're back at the satellite. What I'm starting to notice is that there's a little pop-up of convection right here near the center of circulation. It may just be a one-off thing, but I'll be keeping a close eye on that. The majority of the storms are way east of this thing. So if you're in North Carolina or Virginia, don't worry about these thunderstorms hitting you. You're going to be fine. It's way east. It's going to stay way east. But this little pop-up right here, I'll be keeping a close eye on, because you never know. It might be one of those situations where it's just developing, but maybe it's just developing and then it just starts dissipating. But this is the center of circulation right here, and I'll be keeping a close eye on it. So if you enjoyed that analysis, well, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more updates on both Invest 96L as well as Invest 95L. I just made that video, so go check that out, and I'll see you soon with another update.